Hello everyone and welcome back to another Movie Nights movie review. Today we are talking about Venom: The Last Dance. This is the allegedly last film in the Venom franchise from Sony, the semi-quasi spin-off Spider-Man film since they own the Spider-Man character and all of the villain properties. They've made various spin-off movies like the first two Venoms, Kraven the Hunter we're getting later this year, Morbius, Madam Web, some to varying degrees of success. But today, obviously, we're going to be focusing on Venom 3. This was written and directed by Marcel, who I believe also wrote the first two Venom films. And of course, it stars Tom Hardy in the titular role of Venom and Eddie Brock. This film has a kind of interesting plot. It involves around the comic book villain Null, the creator god of the symbiotes, really. Diving into this one, is the movie great? No. Just as none of the Venom movies are actually great. For whatever reason, they appear to just love exposition done in a very cheesy way. That is very prevalent here. The first shot of the film is talking directly to the audience without actually doing so. It honestly would have worked better if the character was talking directly to the audience. And even throughout the film, instead of taking time to show rather than tell, these movies tell a lot all of the time. The movie also has various things going after Venom and Eddie Brock. Not only is Null after Venom, but you have the U.S. military after him and the police after him, which does create some fun hijinks, but at the same time, it did feel like the movie was overstuffed. The movie isn't that long. It's under 2 hours. There's a rumor that Sony makes them be under 2 hours. I don't know if there's any validity to that, but it wouldn't shock me if that was true, because the movie does feel like it needed more room to breathe and have more time, as do most of the films in this Spider-Man quasi-spinoff universe. The movie also has a difficult time really picking up to really grab you. I thought the first act of the film was genuinely just not good at all, with the exception of a couple questions that it answers that you had lingering from the last time we saw Venom. And the movie's a little bit all over the place. I will say that in these about halfway through the second act and most of the third act are really fun and are a really great time. And this movie's not void of fun at all. I didn't hate this movie by any stretch of the imagination. I just do think that it was kind of just another Sony Marvel movie, Like, it's the quality that you think it's going to be, it is. And, I do wish that these films were better. I think that, with better executives involved, maybe that's perfectly capable of being a better film. Tom Hardy obviously loves the character, and he likes that writing partner, Marcel. Most of the action scenes are really good. The film is a very hard PG-13. Like, I was actually surprised with some of the sequences that it didn't get the R rating. Like, I was like, oh wow, this is really violent for PG-13. I'm not mad about it. I wish it was full rated R, but I was just shocked to see the limits that they pushed, and I feel like other movies could even look at this movie and be like, oh, we can do this in PG-13 now. And as with most PG-13 movies, it does have one F-bomb, and it's used fantastically. I won't spoil the context of it at all. The humor also worked really well in the film, as they do in most of the Venom movies. That dynamic between Eddie and Venom is the reason why you watch these movies. It's the main through line that everyone enjoys, whether you like or dislike these films, and, their chemistry is great, their friendship is strong. Where the movie did succeed here is there are a couple key emotional sequences that really do actually work, and they're dramatic, and they don't feel over the top, they don't feel on the nose, they feel like a part of the moving story that actually took a minute to dive into something, and you're like, oh wow, that was great, I wish the movie kind of did this a lot more. One of them in particular is, I won't spoil what it is, but Eddie does something that he regrets, and the time that the movie takes to kind of reflect on that actually did a decent job. And, it didn't spend too much time on it to where the movie had to stop, like the movie kept going, but you genuinely felt what Eddie was feeling in that moment. And I was like, oh wow, that was great. Like I said, the humor works really well in the film, especially all the scenes that take place in Vegas, which you saw some of that in the trailer. Really funny stuff. There are a lot of fun Easter eggs for comic book fans for different symbiotes. I won't, dive into it that much more, but you do get to see a lot and experience them. There are going to be some diehard fans that are really upset with how some of them are treated, but I thought for what it might be the final Venom movie, they're able to kind of get most of them in there, which was fun to see. I think the thing that bogged this film down, that bogged the other two films down as well, was just kind of the weak script. And I'm not going to place full blame on Marcel here. It could easily be something with this studio, with Sony as well, as we've heard the horror stories of the making of Madam Web and Morbius, of like things completely being different from what they were pitched to different drafts of the script being changed. Who knows if that happened on these Venom films as well. But this is obviously their only real, true, mega hit, successful version of their kind of spin-off Marvel world. And so you would think that a lot more would kind of go into the storytelling, but I guess they just had an approach of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they were just kind of going to see how that goes. So, overall, is the film funny? Yes. Is it fun? Yes. Is there good action? Yes. Is it, kind of a popcorn enjoyable time? Sure, it can be. Is the movie also cheesy at times? Yes. Is the script and story pretty weak? Yes. Are there really bad exposition scenes that kind of take you out of the movie? Yes. Both are true. It's just kind of a mixed bag of a movie that is perfectly fine if you have the proper expectation. If you go in and it's expecting it to be like an all-time great movie, you're going to be severely disappointed. But, it is fun, and I think that's something the Venom movies have always achieved at being. I couldn't really rank them right now just because I haven't seen the first one in a while, but I still think that the second one of the franchise is my favorite just because it felt the most like it knew what it wanted to be. The first one had a bit of an identity crisis, and I think this one has that a little bit too, but, it is a lot more. It still had that fun, silly, kind of campy vibe that Venom 2 had, which was nice to see. And I thought directorially, Kelly Marcel did a perfectly fine job, and I'd love to see her direct more things. But what did you think about Venom The Last Dance? That's what I want to know. I'd love to see your comments down below once you get a chance to see it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.